and just pop them back down onto the floor. Just think about that weight being even across your little toe, your big toe, and your heels. You've got that nice support underneath your footprint. Just making sure your knees and your thighs are just a little bit soft, so we're not locking out on these. Shoulders back and down, nice wide open chest. Making sure that we're bringing the chin, just slightly tucking in, next right in between your shoulders, so not tipping your head to one side or the other. And then we can just make that connection, so pulling in through your centre, like you're drawing in your belt below your belly button, and you're zipping up from the top of your pelvic bone all the way up to your belly button. So you've got that support around your centre for your spine and your pelvis. So we can start to move now. So as you breathe in, just float your left arm up towards the ceiling. And breathing out, bring it back down by your side. And then breathing in, let's lift the right arm up. And breathing out, float it back down. So remember to try and breathe into the sides and the back of your rib cage. So breathing almost like you're breathing sideways. So we can keep that connection through your lower centre there. And then let's change that a little bit. Breathe in, lift your left arm up and take it wide to the side and bring it back down. And then the right arm, reach up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, reach it wide and bring it down. A little bit different next time. Just follow the hand with your eyes. Breathing in, the arm goes up towards you. Breathing out, we're going to sweep the arm towards the wall behind you, down towards the floor and back by the side of your hip. Breathing in, the other arm, right arm, lift it up, sweep it behind you, just follow the hand as your arm goes down by your hip. Do that once more, breathing in, reach up, just getting a little bit of a twist in your spine. My wall's a little bit close to me behind me. And let's do the other one, breathe in, and breathe out, reach that arm back and down, just reset your shoulders, slide your shoulder blades back and down. Breathing, let's lift both of the arms up over our shoulders. Breathing out, let them float back down again. Breathing in, bring the arms up, take them wide to the side, open your shoulders, open, just slide your shoulder blades back and down towards your hips as your arms come down by your sides. Breathe in, maybe we can look up this time as we reach our arms up and look forwards as you bring your arms all the way down by your side. Let's take the arms the other way, reach your arms wide, look up at the ceiling, fingertips to the ceiling as we look up. And then as you look forwards again, bring your arms wide to the side and slowly bring them all the way down. Let's add in a little bit of balance. Lift your heels off the floor. Bring both of the arms up over your shoulders. Come right up onto the balls of your feet. If you can, pull your tummies in tight, help with your stability. Take your arms wide to the side. Drop your heels down onto the floor. Rising up again. Big in breath, keep your shoulders away from your ears if you can. Take your arms wide, slowly float your arms down. Do that once more. Rise up, just really good, important to challenge our balance. Take your arms wide and bring your arms all the way down. This time, let's breathe in, take both of your arms over your shoulders. As you breath, take a little side bend, just get your head in between your upper arms, so sideways. Coming back up, that side bend again, try not to lean forwards or backwards, just press even into both of your footprints, so you've got really solid base underneath your foot. Keep it small if you need to like this. Let's make that a little bit bigger. So as you breathe out, bend your knees a little bit, sweep your arms over to the left side of the wall, then sweep your fingertips down towards the floor forward of your toes. Just follow the arms with your eyes. Let's take the arms up to the right, arms back over your shoulders, looking up. Let's go the other way. Just like you have a big circle with your arms in the air. Going down, wide to the side and back up. Again, looking up as your arms go over your shoulders. Let's do that once more each way. Big bend in the knees if you need to. You don't need to go as deep as me. Keep it really small if you want to. Just get a little bit more of a twist, a little bit more rotation, a little bit of mobility, more mobility. And then bring your arms back up, looking up towards the ceiling. Take your arms wide to the side. Slowly bring your arms all the way down. Let's reach our arms forward this time, just shoulder height, shoulder width apart. Bow and arrow. Breathe in as you we're going to bend the left elbow and pull that elbow back towards the wall behind you. Now we're following the elbow with your eyes this time. And breathing in, reach it forwards. Go again with the right arm, pull it back and reach it forward. So again, a little bit of rotation in your spine. Open the shoulder, open the chest as you pull the arm back. Let's do one more like that. We can add into this if you want to. So we're going to breathe out. We're going to pull that left elbow back. As you breathe in, extend the arm long, so reach your fingertips towards the wall behind you as you look back, and then draw that extended arm all the way back through. Breathing out, your right elbow bends, and we extend the arm long. Open your shoulders, open your chest, reach your fingertips back, and pull that long arm back through. Let's do that once more each side. Bend, extend. Pull the arm back through. Last time with your right elbow, reaching away. Bring the arms forward. Bring your arms down by your side. Let's warm up our legs and our glutes in our squats. Shoulder blades back and down. Pull in nice and deeply through your center. Breathe in as you breath. Let's sit back and down this time. So you've got that low chair behind you. Aim to sit back down in that chair, but you change your mind. Push into your heels. Squeeze your glutes. Straighten your legs. Shoulders over your hips. Reaching forward, sitting back and down. You don't need to come very deep, but really push into your squeeze in your glutes as you stand tall. Let's do that 3 more times. So just bend the knees, hinge your hips, reach forwards. And twice more. Exhaling, reaching forward, sitting down, inhaling, pushing away. And last time, nice and deep in that spot. Keep it smaller if you need to. Slowly straighten up. Bring your arms by your sides, roll your shoulders. Try and stand on one leg. Breathe in as you breathe out. Either just keep your toes on the floor or reach your arms up towards the ceiling and bring your left knee up in line with your hip. Keep your knee lifted if you can. Take your arms wide to the side, bring them down, and then put your foot down on the floor. Standing tall in your left leg. Bring the arms up, bring your right knee up in line with it. Or keep your toes on the floor if you want to. Then keep the knee up or the toes on the floor, arms come wide and down, put your foot back down. Let's do that once more each side. So really important to really challenge our balance. So standing on one leg, maybe when you're brushing your teeth is a good idea. But don't forget to swap legs every now and again. Arms come wide, arms come down, and put your foot back down on the floor. Just shake out your legs a little bit there, just trying to release off any tension. So let's do our forward flexion now. So remember, really try and move your spine as much mobility in your spine as you can. So stand at the back end of that with the length of the mat in front of you, shoulders back and down, knees soft, arms by your sides, hands on your thighs if you want a little bit of support. Breathe in as you breath. Just allow your chin to fall towards your chest and slowly go 1 vertebra at a time. So rounding the shoulders, the upper back, the mid back, and then just keep going if you can. Stop here if you want to. Almost coming all the way down. So your fingertips are just forward of your toes. So you look towards your legs. Bend your knees. You might be here, big bend in the knees. Then as you breathe out, slowly come back up. So restacking your spine, 1 vertebrae on top of the other as we slowly come up. Try and keep your shoulders away from your ears. Roll your shoulders. Breathe in. Let's go down again. So big bend to the knees if you need. If you've got back issues, you might not want to come down very far. Or have your hands on your thighs or a big bend in the knees. Otherwise, just let your arms hang long and heavy from your shoulder joints. Top of the head should be pointing towards the floor wherever you are. Breathe in as you breath. Pull in through your center slowly. Coming all the way up, stand nice and tall. Let's just take a little stretch before we go down again. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling, reach away. Now you can hug your ears with your shoulders, really good old stretch. Then look forwards, drop your shoulder blades down into your back pockets. Take your arms wide to the side. Slowly float your arms all the way down by your sides. Breathe in as you breath, down we go. Last time, so you might want to bend your knees a lot this time. So put your hands on the inside edges of your mat and then let's walk out. So walk up the inside edges of your mat. Align your hands so they're parallel. And come into your tabletop position. So wrists under shoulders, knees underneath your hips. So we're starting off really nice and square. Always remember that if you need to, you can always come down onto your forearms. Most of the sequences we do on our hands are these, even if it means you just need to work the legs only. At the moment, we're going to work the arms only. Getting a little bit twist in our spines, we're going to thread the needle. So nice and square. Shoulders back and down, pull it in through your centre. Let's start with the left arm. So as you breathe in, we're going to float that left arm up towards the ceiling. Follow the hand with your eyes. So you're stacking your left shoulder over your right. As you breathe out, bend your right elbow and just follow the hand with your eyes. You're going to thread the arm underneath you and you're going to bring your left shoulder down towards the floor, bending into your right elbow. Push into your right hand, straighten your right arm, and reach your left arm up towards the ceiling again. Bend your right elbow, threading through. So try not to pull your hip through with you. You're bending the hips. We're not twisting the hips, we're twisting the spine. Push into your hand. Let's reach up again. Reaching up, stack, open your shoulders, open your chest. Pulling in. Remember to just work with your breath. And with that connection to your centre, always to keep put that sensation of pulling in and lifting up your abdominals. Once more, big reach up. Bend your right elbow, thread the arm through. See if you can just get your left shoulder maybe a little bit closer to the floor. And then push into your right hand, straighten your right arm, and put your left hand back down underneath your shoulder. So really nice and square here. So we can do the other side now. So taking the pressure off the right arm now. So as you breathe in, let's reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Open the chest, open the shoulder, look up. As you breathe out, bend your left elbow, threading the arm through. So you bring your right shoulder down towards the floor. So we're looking almost underneath your armpit. Straighten the left arm, sweep the right arm up. And let's go down again. Right shoulder comes towards, and we're trying to rest it on the floor. So you're just reaching under without actually settling your shoulder onto the floor. Big in breath, fill your lungs up with air as you reach up. Slowly breathe it out as you thread underneath you. Big bend in that left elbow. Last time, reach up. And thread the arm through, maybe just getting a little bit closer to the floor. You can keep it really small if you don't want to come this deep. And then slowly bring both of your hands down onto the floor. So back into your tabletop. Breathe in. Remember, you can do this on your forearms if you want to. As you breathe out, let's tuck the tailbone and find a cat stretch. So I'm not twisting the spine, just flexing your spine. Pull your shoulder blades wide, push back, nice stretch. And then breathing in, sit bones up towards the ceiling, dip your spine. Slide your shoulder blades back and down, look forwards, go again. So just coming straight through the midline, not twisting or anything. Tucking under with your tail and your chin. Keep the elbows just gently pulling in towards each other. Slide your shoulder blades down when you're lifting your chest and looking forwards. Once more each way. So it's a really good stretch for your spine. Taking it into those two different directions. So then squaring up nice and square back into tabletop. If you want to just sit on your heels, let's just take a little bit of a rest. Sit on your heels or high knee if you prefer. Just roll your shoulders, just getting a little bit of movement back into your shoulders and circle your wrists. If you've had if you're on your hands and knees rather than your elbows, maybe just getting that little bit of mobility back into your wrists. So now we can lie down. So walk your hands towards the top end of the mat, bend your elbows, come onto your forearms, walk your knees back, slowly, gently sink your hips onto the floor, and then let's come all the way down onto your chest, so you're lying prone. So we're going to swim today on our front, so legs only if you want, or we can add in the arms if you want a little bit more, so you have options. So just first of all, just make sure we're really long in our spines and our legs, heels in line with your sit bones, so the front of your feet are flat on the floor, your legs are hip width apart. Just stacking your hands, just pull the elbows down so they're not quite in line with your hands. They're just pulling down a little bit closer towards your ribs. So you've got almost like a diamond shape in between your arms. So you can pull the shoulder blades back and down. And now just imagine somebody's put a little airbag underneath your belly button. So you can rest your tongue on the airbag, not on the mat. So lifting up away from the mat through your centre. And just try and make sure that your lower back feels open. So you're just pulling your sit bones back towards your heels. So let's start to work through the legs and hips. So breathe in. As you breathe, we're going to lengthen the right leg and just lift it away from the floor. So you're just hinging from the hips. Try and get your knee off the floor without bending in. Breathing in, lower the leg lightly back down onto that. Exhale, lengthen your leg in and lift it up. So you'll feel your hip opening as you lift the leg. Just a little bit of extension into your hip. Feel like you just try and reach your toes towards the wall behind you as you lift the legs. So you don't need to lift the leg too high. Just think about lengthening as you lift it. So you'll feel that switch on into your hamstring, into your hips, into your glutes. Let's do one of those each side. So it's an extension, it's a lengthening. Last time with your left leg lengthen and lift it. So stay with that if you want to, otherwise let's just slide our hands from underneath our forehead. Reach your arms long overhead so they're shoulder width apart, with the palms facing inwards. And then just remember, just keep your shoulder blades pulling down towards your hips. Your nose is just halfway off the mat. Nice long neck. Breathe in. As you breathe out, float your left arm and your right leg at the same time away from the floor. Keep your spine and your neck still and your hips. Lower the arm leg lightly back down. Then your right arm and your left leg. So you're reaching away through your fingertips and your toes, keeping everything else really still. Remember that little airbag underneath your tummy? That's still there, so keep pulling in. So just making sure that we really protect our spines, stabilizing our hips, our spines. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Remember, legs only or arms only indeed if you'd want to. Keep going with that. Let's do one more of those each side. And some of you might want to just take one more last challenge, if you can. Breathe in as you breathe out. Either stay with that or leave both of the arms and both of the legs away. You'll squeeze your bottom tight as you reach away. Lower the arms and legs very lightly back down on the floor. Lift arms and legs, hinge from your shoulders, hinge from the hips. Squeeze your glutes really tight. Maybe we can do two more. Exhale, lengthen and lift. Inhale, somebody's got their microphone on there, I think. And then last time, reach away, squeeze your glutes tight. Arms down, legs come all the way down. Or let's take a little bit of release. Stack your hands if you haven't done already. Just rest your forehead lightly on the backs of your hands. Lift your feet off the floor. So just bring your feet over your knees. And then just very gently allow your legs not to windscreen wiper from side to side. You might even want to allow your hips to rock a little bit from side to side. And try and relax your arms, your shoulders and your chest into the mat as well. Just taking that little bit of a release. Perfect. So from there, lengthen your legs along behind you. Let's come back onto our hands and knees again today. So come back into your tabletop. Bring your knees in a little bit closer. Just take a stretch. Pull your sit bones back towards your heels. So sit towards or onto your heels first of all. And try and tuck your tailbone under a little bit there. So you're really rounding into your lower back. So stretching. Then come back onto your hands and knees. And again, if you want to, come down onto your forearms. So bring your elbows under your shoulders. Otherwise, your wrists are under your shoulders. So nice and square again, back to that tabletop we started with from thread the needle. So squaring up. This time we're going to work the legs and the hips. So let's start with the right leg. As you breathe in, slide your right leg along the floor, lengthen and lift it up. So your legs in line with your spine. Then as you breathe out, coming into a cat stretch on one knee, you're going to round your spine, draw your nose towards your knee underneath you. So tuck your chin, tuck your tail, scooping in through your center. And then as you breathe in, slide your shoulder blades back and down, lengthen again. Same leg, let's do that 3 more times. Without touching down if you can. Curling under, scooping in nose to knee, and then extending away. So when you extend away, your shoulder blades draw down. When you curl up, like in that cat stretch, put your shoulder blades wide across your back. And then reach away once more if you can. So lots of weight bearing in your upper body, so which is good for strengthening our upper body, our muscles, and our bones as well. Any weight bearing through your skeletal system, obviously it's really good for your bones. Put your knee back down. Breathing in, the left leg is going to extend. We're going to lift it up in line with your spine. As you breathe out, let's tuck under again. Nose to knee to nose. You don't need to touch your nose with your knee or vice versa. Just bring them towards each other. Remember, slide your shoulder blades back and down as we find that length in our necks and our spines. Curling up again, shoulder blades wide. Tuck your chin in, tuck your tail under. Reaching away. And let's go again. So always want to try and work with your breath. If you're breathing in when you should be breathing out, honestly, it really doesn't matter. As long as you're breathing, don't focus too much on your breathing. Last time. And reach that leg away. Put your knee down. Sit on your heels again. Or up, if you don't like sitting on your heels and it's uncomfortable, just high knee like this. Roll your shoulders, circle your wrists again with your fingers maybe. Let's come to seated. So let's move on a little bit more into core strength. We're going back into moving into sideways as well in our seated today. So if you remember, we did our bow and arrow when we were standing nice and tall. We're going to do a similar thing in a half roll back. I'll talk you through it. So sit really nice and tall at the top, first of all. So shoulders over your hips. Think about that really nice seated posture, lifting up through the top of your head, chest lifted, ribs drawing down, feet flat on the floor, heels, knees and hips in alignment. Bring your arms forward. So we're just going to straight down and come back up first of all, just to get that warmth in our spine. So breathe in as you breathe round your spine and tuck your tail and just roll off your sit bones or off your pelvis. Breathe in as you breathe out, come back up again. Shoulders right over hips and then sit really tall at the top. Let's do that once more. So you might want to just stay with this without adding a little twist in your spine. Coming back up again. So if you want to come with me into that bow and arrow, breathe in. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone under. Start to bend your left elbow and pull the left elbow back and down towards the inside, the left-hand side of your mat. Just follow the elbow with your eyes like you did standing. Then breathing in, we're going to come back up and sit tall at the top. Exhaling, follow the elbow with your eyes, tuck under, round the spine, pull your right elbow back towards the inside, right side of your mat. And breathing in, come back up, sit nice and tall. So just opening up the hip and the sideways as you pull that elbow back. Keep your hips square, facing, so your hips stay forward, just opening up into your side. Come back up, sit tall at the top. And go again. So really nice way, a little bit work into your side here, like we did in our thread knee. That was working into your sideways as well. So carrying on that theme really. So good to work all of the muscle groups in our core. Obliques your sideways, they're part of your core group of muscles. So really important to get that balance between all our muscle groups. Let's do one more each side. Keep the arm quite close, it just glides past your rib cage as you pull it back. You don't need to come back as deeply as this if you don't manage it. Just tucking the elbow back as far as you feel you can, and then sit really tall at the top. Let's take a little bit of a stretch. So lengthen your legs, slide them away. Keep your knees bent if you prefer to. Bring your arms up over your shoulders, and as you break, just fold yourself over this. Like you're reaching for your toes. Bring your chest towards your thighs, your nose towards you. So don't worry if you can't come anywhere near your toes with your hands. You might just be here, that's fine. It just depends how flexible you are in your hips. Breathe in as you breathe, unfold yourself. So bring your arms up over your shoulders. Reach your arms wide to the side, put your arms in towards each other. So we're going to roll all the way down to stay down. If you want to put your hands on the floor, do so. If you want to go onto your side, come down safely, do so. Otherwise, breathe in as you breathe, tuck your tail under and slowly control the movement as you come down. So try not to collapse. Pull in, navel to spine, use those muscles to help you. And then we're going to take the arms back towards the floor behind you. When your head's on the floor, you can take your arms all the way back and then point your toes. And then just take your full body stretch, reaching away. Really lovely stretch. And then let's circle our arms wide to the sides and pull your arms in. Just let them settle and rest lightly on the mat down both sides. Then let's slide our feet in one at a time. So remember when we're lying down, if you want to put your head on a block, a folded up towel cushion, anything to support your head, the back of your neck, just put that underneath your head now. Keep the neck long, so your chin slightly tucked in. Let's have our arms by our sides. Turn your palms inwards to face your hips, thumbs to ceiling. So make sure you're in that line with your heels, your knees and your hip bones. Remember your little tip and tilt of your pelvis, just to bring your pelvis into neutral. So just tip and tilt, and then bring that, settle in between. So you've got that balance, that levelness across your hip bones, your belly button, your pelvic bone. So from there, make sure that we're, again, you've got that sensation of pulling in and lifting up. And then from there, we can start to move. So we're going to take two arms back As we bring one knee at a time over the hip, we're going to circle the arms wide to the side and in. So breathe in to prepare. As you breathe out, just slowly lift your left foot off the floor, keep the knee bent, bring the knee over your hip and take your arms at the same time towards the floor behind you. Circle your arms wide to the side and pull your arms back in towards your hips as you put your left foot back down on the floor. So we're back where we started. Exhale your right leg, bring the knee over it, keep the shape of the leg the same, the arms go back, the arms circle wide and they pull in towards your hips as you put your foot back down. Keep going with that, breathing out, arms come back, try and keep your ribs pulling down towards your hips. Reach away from the side walls, bring your arms down by your sides and keep going with that. Use your breath. Exhale as we reach back and float the knee. Inhaling as the arms come round and your foot's light as a feather on the floor. If you don't want to lift your foot off the floor, just do your arm circles. Or if you don't want to circle your arms, just bring one leg at a time to tabletop. Otherwise, we're just putting those two together. So that mobility in your hip, the strength, so feel that in your lower abdominals as we lift and lower the foot. Keep going. So just try and work with the rhythm of your breath. So try and go really slowly. And let's do one more each side. Arms go back, knee floats, arms come wide and in, foot goes down. Last time with your right leg, arms go back, arms circle wide, and you're going to put your foot back down on the floor. So we should be exactly back where we started. So from here, let's take the focus up the body a little bit. Interlace your fingers, lift your head off the floor, take your hands behind your head, put your head back down on the floor. So we're just cradling the backs of our heads in our hands. Lift your elbows just slightly away from the floor, keep your neck really long. Keep both sides of your waist long as well. Keep your pelvis nice and still. Curl-ups. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just lift your head off the floor, and then if you can, feel your shoulders off the floor, just looking over the tops of your knees. And then breathing in, slowly coming back down again. So let's take it nice and slowly. Exhaling, curl up. So keep that space in between your chin and your chest all the while. So imagine you've got that little plum just tucked underneath your chin. Just holding onto it, not too tightly. And let's keep going. Remember, we're scooping inwards here. Try not to dome your tummy outwards. We're pulling it in. Try and keep your tailbone on the floor. Let's do one more, and we can build on this if you want to come with me. So next time you breathe out, exactly the same, but we're going to bring, same as we did before, bring your left knee over your hip to a tabletop as we curl up. Put your foot back down, light as a feather on the floor as your head and shoulders release. Then bring your right foot off the floor as you curl up, and put your right foot down as you release your shoulders and then your head. So just again, that little bit of mobility through your hip. And then we can build on this, only if you want to. Again, we're coming into those sideways muscles again. So if you can, on your next exhale, we're going to take the right shoulder up and over towards the left hip as you bring your left knee over your hip. So you get that twist in your spine. Square up, head and shoulders down, foot comes back down on the floor. As you lift your right leg, your left shoulder's coming up and over. So you take your shoulder towards your right hip this time. So the shoulder leg lifts off the floor. Put your foot back down. You can do this without lifting the foot off the floor. Just lift your upper body up and over. So shoulder to hip, coming back down. Or you don't add the twist. Remember, we've always got lots of options. Let's do two more each side if you can. Try not to let your elbows come in towards each other. Keep them nice and wide. So nice work through your center. Lots of core strength work, which we really need to build and maintain. Last time your right leg comes up as your left shoulder comes up and over. both of your feet come back down on the floor. Let's slide the hands from underneath your head. Stretch away, reach through your fingertips behind you. Slowly bring your arms wide to the side and let them settle lightly on the mat down by your sides. Just sink your shoulder blades down into the floor. Then let's slide our heels in a little bit closer towards your sit bone, still keeping the knees and feet hip width apart, maintaining the length in your neck. However, if you put your head on a block or anything, slide it away so the back of your head needs to be on the mat now for our shoulder bridges. So you don't need to come all the way onto your shoulders if you don't want to, but we're trying to get as much mobility into our spines as we can as we come onto our shoulders. If you just want to come up halfway or just tip and tilt your pelvis at the bottom, that's absolutely fine. But make sure your shoulder blades are wide across your back. They've got lots of support through our shoulders. Arms just light on the mat down by your sides with your palms facing down. So your heels are maybe just about hand distance away from your sit bone, just a little bit closer than they might normally be. When you're ready, again, pull in, lift up through your center, breathe in. As you breath, tuck your tailbone under first of all, then squeeze your bottom, your butt cheeks, squeeze and tight your glutes, and slowly peel your spine away from that. Onto your shoulders if you can, don't worry if you're nowhere near halfway, that's absolutely fine. Keep the hips level, breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly coming back down again. So just gently releasing your spine all the way down onto the mat. And then coming up again, just gently press into your feet, just gently push your knees forward. Use your arms for support if you need to. Press into your arms if you need a little bit more stability. So slowly, it's like you're dribbling your spine back down onto the mat. So getting every single bone one at a time onto the mat and peeling away. Exactly the same on the way up. So let's do that once more. Today, you can stay with this if you want. Otherwise, let's try and add in a little bit more strength into our bridge. Only if you feel you can. So come down one more last time. And then next time, if you can, we're going to stay in our bridge. But as soon as you feel your hips start to sink towards the floor, come all the way down and come up again if you need to. So lifting the hips nice and high. Pelvis is level. Those hip bones, you've got spirit level across your hip bones. That should be nice and level. Bring the arms by your sides, palms facing inwards, thumbs to ceiling. As you breathe in, let's go back to those arm circles. Take the arms up towards the floor behind you, and then as you breathe out, circle your arms wide to the side and pull them in, so nothing else changes. Your hips are high, your glutes are strong, arms go back, arms circle wide to the side and pull them in. Don't let your hips sink, press into your feet, your shoulders. We're going to try and do 5 of these if you can. So we've done 3 already, unless you want to come down out of your bridge. Just 2 more. Reach away, pull the arms in. So lots of mobility around your shoulder, your upper body, lots of strength all the way down your back of your body into your glutes and your hamstrings. Bring your arms down by your sides. Hands rest on the floor. Breathe in as you breathe out. Let's slowly release our spines all the way down onto the mat. From there, just lift your feet off the floor one at a time. Just give your knees a hug. And just take a really gentle rock from side to side, just allowing your spine to sink into the mat. So just massaging your spine, just taking that really gentle rock from side to side. So let's put our feet down on the floor. Let's do a little bit of side work today. Again, I'm going to give you lots of options here. So roll over onto one side, doesn't matter which side you prefer to start with. Slide your bottom arm along. Bend both your knees first of all, so bring your heels in line with your sit bones and your shoulders, so you can use the back side of your mat as a guide. Rest your head on your bottom arm, or you can put a cushion in between your head and your bicep if you want to, or you could even have your arm in front of you in line with your chest and put your head on a cushion, if that would be an option as well. So we're going to try and stack the hips, so make sure your top hip isn't coming forwards towards your ribs, so maybe just push it away, so you feel lengthen both sides of the waist. Hips are stacked one on top of the other, as are your shoulders, your knees and your feet. Just put your hand on your hip or on your thigh. If you want a little bit more stability, just put your hand flat on the floor. From there, we're going to extend your top leg away, long leg. So you're reaching through your toes. So for me, just flex your foot so the toes are pointing forwards and the sole of the foot is facing the wall in front of you, behind your mat, yeah? So you're nice and slow. Feel like already, just by flexing your foot, feel like working the back of your legs. So from here, Breathe in. As you breathe out, just glide that top leg forward. It's like you're trying to bring your toes in towards your nose. Doesn't need to be a big movement. Then point your toes, glide that leg back in until it's just in line with your hip again. Keep your toes pointed. We're going to sweep that leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your foot again, reaching through your heel. Lower that long leg back down just to hip height. Keep the foot flexed, glide it forwards. Point the toes, sweep it back in, sweep it up with the toes pointed, flex the foot, sweep it down. So you might want to keep this really small, or it might be a little bit big. So effectively, we're just drawing a big L shape with the top leg, and we're just flexing and pointing the toes, just to really make sure we're working all of the muscle groups in the leg, the glutes and the hip. So it's a really good workout for your leg. Point, lift up, and flex as you lower back down. So anytime you want to, take a rest. I've got a bit more to do with this same leg. Point up and flex down, reach through your heels. So keep both sides of the waist really long, foot flex forward, point in, point up, and flex down. We've still got 2 more to go if you can. So obviously we're really working on that flexibility in your hips as well, strengthening. So this is the last one like this. So see how you go with the next little bit. We're not going to do too many, but bring that top leg back down just to hip height if you can. Take a rest if you need to. Otherwise, can you point your toes? And let's just draw some circles in the air with our toes. Let's just try and do 5 each way. So your thigh bone is circling around your hip socket. Your toes just softly pointed. And just getting that rotation around your hip. That might start to burn a little bit in your hips and your glutes, but that means it's doing what it should be doing. When you've done 5 one way, see if you can just take the circles round the other way. And it might start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. And last time. So now you want to bend that top knee, just allow it to fall onto the mat in front of your bottom leg. Just rolling, you can unstuck your top hip now, so let it roll forward. So that should allow that top hip and glute just to really release off a little bit there. And just take a moment. Should we do that on the other side? Push yourself up to seated or roll over onto the other side, which would be much easier if you can. Otherwise, just take your time. So slide that bottom arm away, long neck, long spine. Bring both of your heels first of all round towards your sit bones. Again, just using the back side of your mat is always useful as a guide. Lengthen both sides of your waist so your hips are stacked. So push your top hip away, top hip over bottom hip, shoulders stacked, knees and feet stacked. And hands on your hip, thigh, fingertips on the floor, or even the handprint on the floor if you need a little bit more stability. Then keep your bottom leg resting on the floor, switch it off and extend your top leg away. So again, we're flexing that top foot. So it's just in line, your heels more or less in line with your sit bone here, toes are pointing forwards. Breathe in as you breath, we're going to glide that leg forward, so you bring your toes in towards your nose. Doesn't need to be a big movement, point your toes and bring the leg back just to that midline. Breathing in with your toes pointed, breathing out with your toes pointed, leg goes up, and then slowly breathing in, we bring the leg back down. Flex forward, bring the foot to reach your heel, point the toes as your leg comes back in, keep the toes pointed as the leg lifts up, so feel like you're in and out of thighs, flex the foot as it lowers down. Keep going, rest anytime you need to. Trying not to tense up your bottom leg. This is quite easy to hold tension in your foot or your leg that's on the floor. That's done its work. I'm going to rest now. Again, doesn't need to be as big as mine. So think about an L shape. You're drawing again that half a square with the top legs. It's not going behind the midline at all, just going forwards and in and up and down. So again, that really good workout for your legs, hips. Nearly there. And once more, flex. Point, point, and flex. Keep going if you can. Rest if you need to. Point your toes on your top foot. And then if you can, let's draw those 5 circles in the air with our toes. That rotation around it. So don't wiggle your foot or your knee. Just that thigh bones going round and around your hip socket. Let's do 5 the other way if you can. And 3. Nearly there. Just feeling that burn. And then last time. So now we can bend that top knee, just allow it to rest on the floor. And again, as we did before, just roll that top hip away from your bottom hip. So just stretching and releasing into your hips, just switching those muscle groups off, just allowing them to relax a little bit there. So from there, let's take a transition. Let's roll over onto our fronts and then bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. Bring your knees underneath your hips. And then just pull your sit bones back towards your heels. Take a little bit of a stretch there. Slide your hands along in front of you. So just bring your chest a little bit closer towards your thighs if you can. That's not for you. Just stack your hands and rest your forehead on your stacked hands. Otherwise, just reaching away. So just getting a stretch across your arms, your shoulders, and your chest. It's this modified child's pose. And then from there, let's come up onto our hands and knees again. So we've been here before at the beginning of the class, nice and square. Let's just do some cats and cows. Again, stretching our spine, wrists under shoulders, knees under. So again, if you want to just do this on your forearms, that is always going to be an option for cat and cow. Otherwise, when you're ready, breathe in. As you breathe out, off you go. Tuck your tailbone. I'm scooping in through your center, just coming into that lovely stretch. Pull the shoulder blades wide, push back chin to chest. As you breathe in, tip your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Dip your spine. Slide your shoulder blades down. Look in the mirror. Lift your chest. Oh, you haven't got. I've got a mirror. Look forwards. And then go again. Tuck the tailbone under. You might be looking in the mirror. I don't know. Can't see you. Coming into your cat stretch. Look towards your belly button, and then come the other way. So sit bones tip up, your spine dips, your shoulder blades slide away, lift your chest and look forwards. That's what I should have said. Let's do that once more each way. Tuck under, try not to squeeze your bottom. Just keep your arms and your legs still, just mobilizing through your spine. Last time, chest lifts, and we should be looking forwards, and then look down, just forward of your hands, square yourself up back into your tabletop. Breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to sway the hips to the left and turn your head like you're trying to look towards your left hip, opening up your right side waist and closing in your left side waist. Slowly come back to your tabletop. Exhaling, go the other way. So sway your hips to the right and turn your head like you're trying to look at your right hip. And then come back up, nice way. Let's do that once more each side. So just stretching out your sideways, which we worked in our thread the knee. We did that in our, when we did our curl-ups, when we took the shoulder up and over towards the hips, just stretching out your hips sideways. Let's square up again through center, so back nice and square, level across your hips and your shoulders. Let's just tuck the toes under, stretch behind your toes, and then just gently walk your hands towards your knees. Then let's lift the knees off the floor, put your heels on the floor, walk your hands towards your toes, big bend in the knees if you need to, so just bringing your chest towards your thighs, just a gentle shake of your head as you fold it over, a little nod of your head, like you're saying yes, you're saying no, then just let your neck be loose. Pull your tummies in really tight, straighten your legs a little bit if you can, and then slowly let's roll ourselves all the way up to standing nice and tall at the top. Let's take a little bit of a stretch, just as we did before. Look up at the ceiling, reach your fingertips to the ceiling, like stretching. Then from there, look forwards, bring your arms wide to the side, bring your arms all the way down by your sides. Breathe in as we breathe out. Let's roll down again. One more last time. So feel that length in the back of your legs. Opening up your spine, look towards your knees again. You might need to bend your knees a lot still. You might want to have your hands on your thighs. Slowly coming back up again. So just rebuilding your spine. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Stand nice and tall at the top. Roll your shoulders. Let's just bring the arms overhead. Take a little bit of side bend if you can. So just keep your arms over your shoulders. Just take that little bend over to the left, back to center, then over to the right, and then back to center. Let's take one more last stretch. Look up and ceiling, reach your fingertips to the ceiling, hold your ears with your shoulders, and then reach away like you reach your fingertips towards the sidewall as we straighten our necks, looking forward. Slowly allow your arms to come all the way down by your sides. Then as you breathe in, just bring your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, just let it all go. Let's do that twice more. Shoulder shrugs, breathing in, shoulders to ears, Yeah, let it go. Let's do that once more. Just try and release up any tension on that last exhale. Well done, everybody. Thank you very much. Lovely to have you with me on this Tuesday lunchtime or a busy month. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day and hope to see you again next week.
Thanks, Karen.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.
Well done, Karen. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Mark. See you next week.
Yep.
Thank you.